Hello students. I hope you have gone through the video in which I have discussed the two stories in detail once again. When I saw it once again, I realized that I have again missed out upon 2 points. 2 points being the two stories or the myths, that let us say, which have been mentioned in the Chronicle of the Peacocks, right? And what were the two stories जो मैंने आपको मनु जी की story बताई, King Manu and the falling off or the throwing out of the peacocks from the heaven, the paradise. Now if you see your book, in the very first page of, the very first, when the story starts, in my book it is page number 102. टेक्स्ट बुक की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे, ठीक है. सो here in the very beginning, how the story starts that there has been an explosive test of the atom bomb done in Jaipur in Rajasthan, and that has frightened the peacocks. Okay, now the journalist, that is Hussain, Intizar Hussain, our story writer, he wrote about it, that such a explosive test was done and how it affected the peacocks. Then he realizes, he says, third paragraph mein he says, immediately I wrote a column expressing my sympathy for the peacocks and thought that having done my duty, I was free from all further obligations. But had I really done my duty? Was I actually free? That significant piece of information disturbed me in the same way as that small fish had disturbed Manuji. Now, what Intizar Hussain as a journalist in the story did was that he shared the aftermaths, not the aftermaths, let me say, he had shared or he wrote news about how the peacocks were scared by the explosion, right? But he did not talk about what could be the destructive effects of the testing of the atom bomb. Okay, that is why Manu's story, King Manuji's story, which is used by the writer in the story, it is used to tell that, but just by writing a column where the writer is expressing his sympathy for the peacocks who have been scared by the atom bomb, he is not doing his duty. Just like Manuji did his duty half, he picked up the fish and he brought it to his kingdom, but the fish took such big size that he had to take it back to ocean. And there he sees that when he caught that fish, when it requested him to take him home, fish ने request किया था उनको अपने साथ ले जाने के लिए, what was the real purpose behind that was missed. Obviously मैंने आपको story बता दी है King Manu ने. What was the purpose of that fish being caught by the hands of Manuji? Eventually what Lord Vishnu wanted King Manu to do, he wanted Lord Vishnu wanted King Manu to save the humanity. Okay, that is what is done in the story. Here Intizar Hussain is using Manuji's story and making himself realize that in the story, being a journalist, I am writing this column, but my focus should not be just the sympathy for the peacock. I just don't need to talk about that. That doesn't complete my duty. मेरी duty कैसे complete होती है? To make people realize that such explosive test should not be done. Such weapons should not be made. Such weapons are a danger to the human race. So he wants to tell you this thing कि मैं इस चीज़ को miss out कर रहा हूँ. कौन मैं? Intizar Hussain is missing out on this point. Okay? मनु की story लेने का ये purpose है. And I hope समझ आया हो आपको ये, है ना? मनु की story, King मनु की story क्यों ली? हुसैन ने, व्हाट इज ही ट्राइंग टू, यहाँ पूरे पैराग्राफ में बड़ा क्लियरली उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है इस चीज़ को. देन Hussein's dadima tells him that about the story of the peacock, that peacock, which is a symbol of beauty, grace and dignity. It lived in paradise, but it was fooled by Satan, who in the disguise of an old man came to the paradise, and he was not allowed. But peacock, she took sympathy on this old man and brought him inside the paradise. This was the sin peacock committed. Okay, so what Dadima told him, that peacock story is used to tell that peacock is the bird of paradise, bird of heaven, so we should not trouble it. If we are troubling the peacock, we are sinning, we are committing a sin which is against the moral and religious rules. So that is what is being told through the story of the peacock. Basically, we should not endanger this species, we should not trouble this animal. Clear? So these are the two references, two important myths and stories that have been used by Intizar to focus and elaborate on his point that war is utterly useless thing which should not be done, and the Brahmastra, the nuclear weapons which India and Pakistan possess, they should never ever use it. Clear है? मेन फोकस जो हमारा रहेगा, जो कॉन्टेक्स्ट इंतज़र ने इलेबरेट करने की कोशिश करी है, या what he has tried to explain to you is the question which Parikshit puts to Vyasji. That forms the context of the story, A Chronicle of the Peacocks. And these two more myths have been used to tell you that we should not trouble the peacocks, they are the birds of paradise. And Manu's story tell us, King Manu's story tell us that it is more important to realize what is your purpose on the earth. The purpose was to save mankind. King Manu's main purpose, why the fish came to him, or what Lord Vishnu wanted him to do. Similarly, the journalist or our writer who wrote about the who wrote a column for the sympathy of the peacocks, what was his duty to write? His duty was to write what aftermaths could be there if the atom bomb was really thrown, or if it was really used as a weapon. Not just our country, but it will, like the Brahmastra, it will destroy the whole world. Okay? Ab no scope of confusion, nothing is left out that is not touched about the stories. तो आई होप अब आपको सारी चीज़ें क्लियर हो गई होंगी. रीड इट, गो थ्रू इट वंस अगेन. स्टोरी में हर चीज़ का रेफरेंस बहुत अच्छे से दिया हुआ है. अगर आप वीडियो देखिए उसके बाद रीड इट योरसेल्फ, थिंग्स विल बी क्लियर टू यू. ओके, थैंक यू.